So let's start it off by talking with two reporters who have spent countless hours covering the respective campaigns as they crisscross the nation. Chief political correspondent Carl Cameron has been covering the Trump campaign, and Fox News correspondent Jennifer Griffin has been traveling with Team Clinton. Good evening to you both.
Good evening.
Is this Trump's last best chance, Carl, to kind of turn the dynamic?
It could well be, and he has said today that this is the most important night of the entire election campaign. The question is how much scorched earth and how much presidential do we see from him tonight? And the Trump campaign would very much like to take the opportunity to point out that he is the change candidate in all of this, and that Hillary Clinton's 30 years in American politics has yielded not very much in his opinion. And in the last couple of weeks, or the last 10 days since the last debate, he spent a tremendous amount of time talking about ethics reform, talking about a constitutional amendment to clean the swamp out, to drain the swamp in terms of term limits for members of Congress. All of this is meant to be a policy answer to what he has argued is her corruption problem, both in terms of being the Secretary of State with its closeness to the Clinton Foundation, as well as a whole bunch of other personal stuff that we'll see when it comes out. There's going to be some interesting guests in the audience tonight that could suggest that the Trump campaign is getting ready to really get negative.
On that front, the half-brother of Barack Obama is going to be there as part of the Trump guest section. What is that about? What message is he trying to send with that?
Division in the Democratic Party, dissatisfaction with Barack Obama by his half-brother, who shares his time between Kenya and Washington, who is a Trump supporter and has been a very tough Clinton critic. That's a shot across the bow. It's meant to say that there are lots of people who should be more aligned with Democrats who are not. It's a statement of their failure and Trump's ability to get crossover votes.
You know, Jennifer, we should point out that no one really thought that this was in the flight path of Las Vegas Airport, but apparently we're on our fifth plane now flying overhead, but we'll continue. What about the Clinton team? What were they looking for tonight?
Well, I think the way the Clinton campaign sees this is her closing argument to what has been a very long trial. And she is going to present, if you look at the guests that she invited tonight, they were chosen for a reason. They are looking at, many of them are from Nevada and from Arizona. And if you notice, and it's very interesting, Carl, that Donald Trump has not been talking about build the wall at every opportunity. And I think it's because it's not playing well in a lot of these states. They're not polling well among Latino voters. They realize that they're losing red states now, Arizona, Utah, Georgia, Nevada, where Nevada has more undocumented workers than any state in this country. And we were out talking to one of the guests that Hillary Clinton is having tonight, Astrid Silva, and she is an activist. She's a dreamer here in Nevada. And I think if you look, she has a Gold Star mom in the audience. She's going to try and present this stronger together theme. She wants to look presidential. She does not feel she has to deliver a knockout blow to Donald Trump tonight.
But he's pummeling her over and over and over, which we know he believed he won that second debate, and his supporters thought he won that second debate, and so we would expect similar behavior, that he's just coming at her at every turn. What does she do tonight, Jennifer? Is she going to try to be above it all? Because that's fraught with peril potentially, too, if she doesn't respond to any of the direct attacks.
Well, I think that's why she's been practicing so much. There's nothing that Hillary Clinton does that is not studied, practiced, and vetted by her team. So
we've seen that, the Podesta email.
Absolutely. It was in the WikiLeaks. And so she has been practicing for questions on WikiLeaks, on quid pro quo, on the James O'Keefe video. And I don't think that she's going to be surprised by any question. I think you'll see her try to stay above the fray, and she wants to deliver a message that she will be a president for all of America and that it's time to start uniting the country.
Speaking of videotapes, Carl, we've heard a lot about accusers of Donald Trump, about sexual assault and sexual misconduct. A new accuser today coming out for the first time speaking about Bill Clinton. Take a listen.
He followed me into an editing room the first time I remember. That it was very small. There was a chair. I was sitting in a chair. He came up behind me and started rubbing my shoulders and running his hands down toward my breasts. And I was just stunned. I froze. I asked him to stop. He laughed. That happened on 3 occasions, and each time it escalated, where the aggressive nature of his touch and what he was doing behind me escalated.
She's a Arkansas TV reporter describing something that obviously happened when he was governor of Arkansas, but new to come out today publicly.
And we're told that she may well be one of the Trump guests in the audience this evening. That would be, again, one of these personal arguments wherein Trump's victory in winning an argument or being more intimidating plays to what Jennifer was talking about. He may win an argument, but that doesn't necessarily mean he's going to court new voters. And in the last couple of debates, Trump has appealed to his Republican base, which he already has. And the question is, where's the outreach for the swing vote? The minority voters that might be available to them. And this kind of thing could cause him to have a great bit of press coverage. It would certainly be spectacular. It would get a lot of noise. But it doesn't necessarily persuade voters. And that's where we're at now for the last 20 days. It's about closing the deal and getting as many voters to win.
But on the other hand, there's a theory that what he's really trying to do with his attacks and so on is to depress her vote.
Sure.
And if you watch this woman's full testimonial on Breitbart, which is between 20 and 30 minutes long, and it's very detailed. It happened 20 years ago. She's no longer a news reporter, but she takes you through bit by bit what she alleges Bill Clinton, then sitting governor of Arkansas, did to her 3 times, which, if it is true, certainly would meet the definition of sexual assault. She says it was without her consent. You tell me whether there's a risk to Hillary in her voter base, women who are obviously concerned about the issue of sexual assault, feeling like, we got nothing. We got no place to turn, right? Who is there left to root for?
Well, I think if you look at what the Clinton campaign has been trying to do, they continue to try and pivot away from this. They realize that raising the issues of sexual assault and women is mutually assured destruction. So you're going to see her tonight pivoting away, not just from these claims and these accusers, but also pivoting away from WikiLeaks and talking about Russian involvement in the election. You saw Marco Rubio talking about it in Florida, trying to stay above the fray, saying that he would not be gloating about this because this could be happening to the Republicans at any time. So I think, again, she's going to try and pivot away from these issues, and that's what they've been practicing.
We've got to wrap it up there. Carl?
One of the things about undecided voters, several weeks ago there were very few undecideds. They've gone way up. Part of that really speaks to the electorate's dissatisfaction with both candidates. There are Republicans who would like to vote Republican, but they have doubts about Trump. There are Democrats who would like to vote Democrat, but they have doubts about Hillary Clinton. It is extraordinary to see undecideds growing as we get closer to the election.
Right.
It's unbelievable.
And day by day we get those WikiLeaks emails, which confirm a lot of the things that people believed about her. In the same way, we've seen the same thing on the Republican side.
And the good thing is all the flights are on time at McCarran. So, Carl, Jen, thank you very much.